Welcome to another Medieval Combat Club introductory video. All footage you see here, and every event we host, uses weapons with multiple inches of foam padding, allowing us to hit with full force and speed without the need for protective gear. Please consult the Belegarth rules before attempting this at home. In this video we will introduce skirmishes between pairs of fighters, with commentary explaining some of the rules and tactics for those unfamiliar with Belegarth combat. Every match begins with the combatants raising weapons to signal readiness. If 2 points are scored against you, you declare yourself dead and remove yourself from the match. Placing your hand or weapon on top of your head is an additional indication of death. Strikes to the body count as 2 points, enough to kill. Strikes to the limbs count as 1 point and disable the limb. A disabled arm cannot wield a weapon, and a disabled leg is kneeled upon. In multi-person skirmishes, it can be important to stay together, especially when weakened by a disabled limb. Strikes to the head or neck are always illegal. Multi-person skirmishes add a tactical layer on top of individual dueling skill. Position and situational awareness can turn the tide of a fight. However, don't discount individual threat. In this clip, Garrick, with the blonde hair on the right, manages to sneak a precise strike over the lip of my shield and into my chest, taking me out immediately. Some equipment has special rules that enhance the flavor of both individual and mass combat. The red greatsword that Gareth is wielding has the additional feature of breaking a shield on 2 strong hits. Our Medieval Combat Club, Tir na Sonrai, provides a variety of weapons and shields for use at our events. Players may bring personal equipment so long as it falls within the Belegarth standards, which can be found online. In this clip, my partner Jesse is legged and we try positioning ourselves so strikes against one will expose the attacker to counter-strikes from the other, but our disadvantage against the length of the greatsword and the fury of Rachel's dual arming swords soon sees me retreating. I get Rachel as she chases, but at the cost of my sword arm. Exchanging a 1-point hit on the arm for a 2-point hit on the body can be advantageous. It just wasn't enough in this case. This clip also demonstrates the protection of a legged partner, though with better results. I get Garrick's leg early, and Gareth and I back off to reassess the situation. We circle to see if we can strike at the legged opponent, while his partner Phil is too far behind him to strike back at us. Phil moves up to keep us in engagement range, so we end up squaring off. I'll slow the video down to explain what happens next. As I lunge at Phil in the foreground, Garrick lunges in the background. I move my shield to block Garrick, but Phil, who maintained engagement range, has an open shot on my back. Garrick's lunge cost him his arm and thus his 2nd point, and my own lunge claimed a leg. It's 2 points for 2 points, but we still have a mobile fighter with reach against a legged fighter without, preserving the edge in our favor. The superior reach of the spear and glaive can be countered by rushing the wielder. To prevent this, Garrick, on the left, has a sword and shield and stays close to William, who has the glaive. If they maintain this formation, William should be able to poke out both opponents from relative safety. Gareth, with the greatsword, and Phil with the sword and shield, are trying to respond with aggression, lunging to close the distance and hoping to force an opening. Here, William and Phil are partnered with Garrick and Jesse opposing. Garrick immediately starts to circle, splitting the formation and opening William to a charge. Grappling is allowed in our skirmishes, but under special rules to prevent injury and equipment damage. Here is another clip of proper positioning and the effective use of a glaive's superior reach. Similar positioning can be used with a greatsword in place of a spear or glaive. Rather than immediately chase Jesse, I position myself to prevent him from charging Gareth, and once in tight formation, I threaten him to draw his swords towards me and open him to ranged poke from the greatsword. Notice that my sword and shield waving isn't actually close enough to hit Jesse until the very end. During this final clip, I'd like to stress the importance of keeping things lighthearted and fun. While we experience the adrenaline of defending against attacks and working together in teams, this club is about bringing people into a community of mutual enjoyment and not about stringent realism. If you think you hit someone and they didn't call it, or if your partner leaves you exposed and outnumbered on the battlefield, don't let anger poison the experience. Ask them if they felt a hit, or your team if there's a strategy they want to try. With adrenaline pumping and the chaos of swords swinging in all directions, accidents are going to happen and the brain is going to make mistakes. In this clip, I get hit in the leg, but my brain says I got hit in the arm. My arm throws away the shield as I go down on the disabled leg, at which point my brain recognizes the desync and sends a curse out my mouth. We lost the bout, but we had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you found this video interesting. More resources can be found online through a simple search for Belegarth, or similar rule sets like Dagger Hero or Amped Guard. The Belegarth community is large, and while there are active groups in many locations, it really only takes 2 interested people and a couple foam swords to start enjoying it. To all of you looking to stand shoulder to shoulder, shield to shield with your friends and coworkers, the Belegarth realm of Sonrai extends a warm welcome.